Look down at your own skin right now. Whatever color it is, you probably think of it as just yours, something you were born with, something personal. But your skin is not really about you. It is a message written by the sun over thousands of years into the bodies of people who died long before you were born, people who never met each other, people who lived on different continents, under different skies. And the message they left in your skin answers a question humans have gotten wrong, violently wrong, for most of our history. Why do humans come in different colors at all? We are one species. Same bones, same blood, same brain, same ancient family tree going back to the same place. And yet human skin ranges from the deepest brown to the palest pink. For thousands of years, people looked at that difference and invented terrible explanations for it. Myths, tribes, empires, race. They treated skin color like proof that humans were fundamentally different kinds of beings. But biology tells a completely different story, and it starts with something most people never think about. It starts with the moment humans lost their fur. Almost every mammal on Earth has fur, and fur is not just for warmth. Fur is shade. It is a built-in roof over the skin. It blocks sunlight before it can ever touch the body underneath. But somewhere in our deep past, our ancestors did something risky. They lost almost all of it. Why would a species give up its natural protection? The leading answer is heat. A furry animal running across open ground in the sun overheats fast. It has to stop. It has to rest in the shade. But an animal with bare skin, an animal that can sweat, can keep going. It can walk for hours. It can chase prey across the hot open savanna long after other predators have collapsed from the heat. Sweat works best on bare skin. So our ancestors traded their fur for the ability to cool down. It was a brilliant trade, but it came with a hidden cost. Because once the fur was gone, the sky could touch the body directly. And near the equator, where humans first evolved, the sky is not gentle. Sunlight there carries enormous amounts of ultraviolet radiation, UV. And here is the strange part. The same sun that made life possible was also quietly trying to damage the people living under it. UV radiation is powerful. Powerful enough to burn skin. Powerful enough to break apart molecules deep inside the body. And one of the molecules it destroys is something called folate. You have probably never thought about folate, but your body depends on it. It is a B vitamin used to build new cells, repair DNA, and support healthy pregnancy. When too much UV breaks down folate, having children becomes harder. And in evolution, nothing matters more than that. A body can be strong, fast, clever, perfectly built in every other way. But if it cannot leave behind healthy descendants, evolution does not keep that design. The whole game is reproduction. Everything else is just a detail. So under that brutal tropical sun, the bodies that survived best were the ones that could protect their folate. And the protection came from a single substance, melanin. Melanin is the pigment that gives skin its color, but it is far more than color. It is a shield. It absorbs ultraviolet radiation and scatters it before it can reach too deep. The more melanin in your skin, the more protected you are under strong sunlight. This is why people whose ancestors lived for a very long time near the equator tend to have darker skin, not because they are a different kind of human, because their ancestors lived under a more dangerous sun. Dark skin was not decoration, it was technology. It was the first sunscreen humans ever had, and it was built directly into the body. So if dark skin protected humans so well, why isn't everyone dark today? Because humans did something no other great ape ever did on this scale. They moved. Over tens of thousands of years, groups of humans walked out of Africa. They crossed deserts. They followed coastlines. They pushed through forests, over mountains, onto cold plains and foggy northern islands. And the farther some of them traveled from the equator, the more the problem flipped completely upside down. The danger was no longer too much sun. It was too little. Specifically, too little of a type of UV called UVB. And UVB does something your body absolutely needs. It helps you make vitamin D. Vitamin D is essential. Your body uses it to absorb calcium, to build strong bones, to support your immune system. Without enough of it, children can develop a disease called rickets, where the bones grow soft and bend under the body's own weight. Pregnancy becomes more dangerous. Survival gets harder. And here's the problem. In the far north, the sun is weak for much of the year. There simply isn't much UVB. And dark skin, which is so good at blocking UV, now worked against people. It blocked the small amount of UVB they desperately needed. So in these low sunlight regions, evolution slowly favored the opposite. Lighter skin, less melanin. Skin that let more of that precious weak sunlight in, so the body could make enough vitamin D to survive. Now here is the part almost everyone gets wrong. Light skin did not evolve because the north is cold. Cold has nothing to do with it. Cold does not lighten skin. Sunlight does. If you mapped human skin color against temperature, the map would make no sense. But if you map it against ultraviolet radiation, it lines up almost perfectly. Skin color follows the sun, not the thermometer. But even this is not the full story, because humans are messy. Migration is messy. Diet is messy. Take some of the peoples who lived in the far Arctic. By the rules we just covered, they should have extremely pale skin. But many of them don't. Why? Because of what they ate. Their traditional diets were rich in fish and marine animals, foods packed with vitamin D. If your food already gives you vitamin D, your skin doesn't need to let in as much sunlight to make it. So the pressure to lighten the skin simply wasn't there. This is why there is no clean chart of human skin color. There are patterns, but there are no sharp lines. And that is exactly where the idea of race falls apart. Because skin color changes gradually across the planet. Slowly, smoothly. There is no border you can cross where one kind of human suddenly ends and another begins. If you had walked from Central Africa to Northern Europe 10,000 years ago, you would not have crossed any magic line. You would have seen a slow, gentle shift. Bodies shaped by slightly different amounts of sunlight, generation after generation. Human variation is completely real, but the boxes people built around that variation were never written by biology. They were written by culture, by history, by people who wanted some humans to rank above others. Evolution never said any of that. Evolution was just solving a chemistry problem. And the problem was this: block too much sunlight and you destroy your ability to make vitamin D. Let too much in and you destroy your folate. Every shade of human skin is a compromise between those two dangers. A dial, turned up where the sun is brutal, turned down where the sun is weak. That is all skin color ever was. Dark skin is not primitive. Light skin is not advanced. Brown skin is not halfway between anything. They are all finished solutions to the same ancient problem. They are all survival. And here is the final twist. For the first time in history, that ancient system is broken. Today, a person can fly across the entire planet in a single day. Someone whose ancestors spent 50,000 years adapting to weak northern light can now live under the harsh equatorial sun. Someone whose ancestors adapted to intense tropical UV can now live in a gray, cloudy northern city. Your skin still carries the memory of an ancient sky, but your life may now happen under a completely different one. So look at your skin one more time. It is not just the color of your body. It is a record of deserts your ancestors crossed, coastlines they followed, winters they barely survived. It is the shadow of journeys taken by people whose names are completely lost, people who never knew they were shaping what humanity would look like. They were just trying to live long enough to have children. And over thousands of years, the sun wrote itself into their skin. Why did humans become different colors? Because we left one place and learned to survive in 1,000 others. Because the same star that gave us life was also trying to harm us. Because evolution had to solve two opposite problems at the exact same time. Your skin is not a border. It is not a ranking. It is not proof that we are separate. It is proof of the opposite. It is proof that we are one species, stubborn enough and flexible enough to survive almost anywhere on Earth, carrying a little piece of ancient sunlight on our bodies everywhere we go.